In this video, you will learn how to build major scales. Major scale is a set of 8 consecutive notes that are arranged by pitch. Although there are many types of scales, the major scale is one of the most commonly used scales in the Western music. The understanding of major scale is crucial in order to grasp many different concepts in music theory, such as intervals, chords, key signatures, solfege with movable do, solfege with fixed do, and others. There are 15 different major scales, and although they all seem different, they all use the same set of rules. Every scale has 8 notes. The order of notes follows the alphabetical order. The scale starts and ends on the same note. Apart from starting and ending note, every other note name is used once. Let's check these rules at the simplest C major scale. The scale has 8 notes. Order of notes follows the alphabetical order. It starts and ends on the same note. All other notes are only used once. Let's look at G major. It also has 8 notes. It follows the alphabetical order. It starts and ends on the same note. All other notes are only used once. B flat major is the same. 8 notes, alphabetical order. It starts and ends on the same note. All other notes are only used once. So why do some scales have sharps and some have flats? In order to understand this, let's look into a basic building element of Western music, the half step. On a piano keyboard, a half step or semitone is the distance between any adjacent 2 keys. For example, if we start at G natural and go up half step, we land on G sharp. If we start on B and go down half step, we land on B flat. We can also combine 2 half steps to get a whole step or a whole tone. Therefore, the whole step is a distance of 2 half steps. If we start on C and go up 2 half steps, we land on D. That's the same as going up 1 whole step. If we start on A flat and go down 2 half steps, we land on G flat. If we start on E and go up 2 half steps, we land on F sharp. When building a major scale, the pattern of whole and half steps is always the same and looks like this. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And this is our final rule. Now let's look at the C major scale and how it's played on the keyboard for better understanding of how to build a major scale. C major is played on the following keys: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C to D is a whole step, and D to E is a whole step, but E to F is a half step. Then F to G, G to A, and A to B are all whole steps, and finally, B to C is a half step. Now let's see if this rule matches up to G major scale. G to A and A to B is a whole step, B to C is a half step, C to D, D to E, and E to F sharp are all whole steps, and finally, F sharp to G is a half step. Now that we know all 5 rules, let's build a D major scale. First, write out the notes and of course double check your clef. Next, label the notes with letters just to make sure that you didn't miss a note. Then write the major scale formula in between the notes. Even if you know it, write it in. It's very easy to get lost in the middle and make mistake. Lastly, follow the piano keyboard and add sharps and flats to the notes of the scale as needed. We start on D and move up a whole step to E, then a whole tone from E is this one. We know that it needs to be F sharp and not G flat, otherwise we are skipping F, so now we add a sharp here. Up a half step from F sharp is G. Up a whole step from G is A. A whole step from A is B, but now a whole step from B is this one, C sharp, so we add a sharp to C. Finally, we go up a half step from C sharp and we land on D. If you get to the last note and it's the same as the first one, in our case D, you probably got it right. But if you ended up on D sharp or somewhere else, you made a mistake somewhere along the way, so you'll need to go back and correct it. Let's now build E flat major scale. First, write out the notes and of course, double check your clef. In this example, we are using the bass clef. Next, label the notes with letters just to make sure that you didn't miss a note. Then write the major scale formula in between the notes. Again, even if you know it, write it in. Lastly, follow the piano keyboard and add sharps and flats to the notes of the scale as needed. We start on E flat and move up a whole step to F. Then a whole step from F is G. Half step from G is this one. We know that it needs to be A flat and not G sharp, otherwise we are repeating G, so now we add a flat here. Up a whole step from A flat is B flat, so we add a flat here. Next, up a whole step from B flat is C, and up a whole step from C is D. Finally, we go up a half step from D and we land here, which is E flat, so we add a flat here. If you get to the last note and it's the same as the first one, in this case E flat, you probably got it right. But if you ended up somewhere else, you made a mistake, so you need to go back and correct it. Before we end this video, let's quickly review all the rules. Every major scale has 8 notes. The order of notes in the scale follows the alphabetical order. The scale starts and ends on the same note. Apart from starting and ending note, every other note name is used once, and finally, when building a major scale, the pattern is always the same. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half step. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check my channel for more useful videos. Thanks for watching!